in this video we're going to look at another one of the wards that Silver talks about in great detail. Now, this time we're going to look at open ward. And I'm going to struggle because of the ceiling, but we'll cope. You'll see why as we go about this. Now, together with True Guardant, open and Guardant together form what Silver describes as lofty play, which essentially means actions that take place from above the head. And open is a very simple ward. Instead of in True Guardant, our hilt is held above our head with our tip down towards our left knee. In open, the hilt stays above the head, but the sword is held either backwards or, and I'm going to have to kneel down for this, straight up. Okay? So obviously we don't do this ward kneeling down, but I've got a ceiling to worry about, so the ward is here. And you see straight away, in open ward, it can be relatively intimidating. The sword's up here, above the head, and I tend to prefer having the sword vertical rather than back, but there are pros and cons to each. Mainly because it forces my opponent to be thinking about the fact that this sword is up there, right in front of them, and they know exactly what's going to happen. If they get into range, if they gain me the place by their coming in, they know what's coming. Now, any swordsman of any level of skill shouldn't be worried about that, because it's a simple downright blow. You can deal with it incredibly easily once you know how. However, when you're actually fighting, people often revert back to instinct. And instinctively, when they're fighting somebody who's a relatively big person, they're holding a sword above their head, they know a hard, heavy blow is coming at them, they tend to hold back a little. So in that instance, it can be used almost defensively. It allows you a moment's respite, if you like. Now, if the sword's held backwards, then it makes it a little bit harder for your opponent to know when it's coming, because they can't see the blade. They don't pick up on that movement. But it's very important that we don't let the sword hang down the back. You'll see in some systems, they have a guard where the sword is down the back. Now with a long sword, fine, we're not going to worry too much about that, that's okay. But with a back sword, that becomes an issue, because if my sword goes past horizontal, downwards, what that does is it effectively narrows my options to this side. This attack has to come in this direction. What it can't do is come in from over here, because my head is in the way. Whereas if it's here, the attack can come either side. So it's really important that we don't let this hang backwards. You keep it either horizontal or vertical or somewhere in that quadrant. And that's open ward. And what we'll do later on is we'll look at how open and True Guardant together form a nice little system that allows you to both maintain your own safety and offend your opponent at the same time.